This is Buddy Saran from I Do Tax Accountants, and today I wanted to make this video for the purpose of sharing with you some of the process that we follow when it comes to onboarding an employee for the purpose of payroll. This process is pretty standard for most all industries. So we follow it when an employer has a new employee and wish for us to process the payroll. This is obviously a process that commences after the recruitment process is carried out by the employer. So the employer has done their due diligence on ensuring that the employee that they are hiring meets the requirement, qualification, experience, and expertise to do the job that they are being hired for. So once this process of recruitment is complete by the employer, the information falls onto us to provide the employer assistance on onboarding the employee for payroll. One of the most important things that we ask for employers to help to make their life a bit easier is to provide us the contact details of the employee. Once the employee contact details is with us, we contact the employee directly and ask them to complete a specific form. So I'm going to be sharing with you this form that we send to our employees to complete, and it's the new employee onboarding form information. This form collects most of the information that we require for a payroll department to process payroll efficiently. One of the most important things is this part where it requires employers to disclose to all employees the Fair Work Information Statement. Employers must give every new employee, a copy of the Fair Work Information Statement before or as soon as possible after they start their new job. This information provides the employees with basic details about their employment responsibilities and their employment's also benefits in terms of starting a new job. So these can be provided in a different manner. So we provide it as a link to the employee where the employee can go and learn about their entitlements under a new employer in Australia. So once the employee has read that information, they are able to complete this form, which contains details about them, the tax file number, their date of birth, their name, their address, their job title according to them, the phone number, any bank details where any payments will be processed into, and also the emergency contact details. This form also contains the tax file number declaration, which is very important for onboarding new staff members. This document collects the details for an employer to process single touch payroll and report payments to the ATO. The employee is required to complete this information in detail, and we have provided some guidance on how to complete, or we ask the employee to also contact us if they have any queries about what they should be ticking when completing this form. The employees are required to sign this and return to our office so we can process in the payroll system. According to whatever they have ticked and selected in this form, the payment will be applicable where tax applies or different tax rates apply, or additional withholdings are required. The third part of this form is the Superannuation Standard Choice. This is where the employee provides the employer or the payroll department the details about what superannuation they wish for the payments to go into for their retirement. So this is very important to make sure that employers understand that they can no longer just add them to the default employer superannuation. They must check if the employee has a superannuation account already, because it's no longer allowed for employers to create an account for employees that they say they don't know it. So it's the first option that you have on this one is to choose what type of superannuation account you have. The first in this case is an APRA account, which is a standard. So most employees that have already operated or work as an employee for an employer, they would have already set up a superannuation account that is available for any new employer to deposit superannuation payments. So this option requires the completion of item 2, 3, and 5 of this form, and is required to be completed if you know your superannuation account details. Option number two is if the employee has a self-managed superfund. This is very unlikely for employees to have a self-managed superfund because it requires employees to comply with certain requirements to open a self-managed superfund, and it's very costly. So every year, the self-managed superfund will need to do its own tax return and report and stay in compliance with requirements that the ATO set in place. So it's very unlikely that a new employee will have a self-managed superfund. So therefore, this is usually not required. The third option is when the superannuation that your employee wants to appoint is the one that the employer set as default. Only after the employer has confirmed that the employee does not has any a superannuation account already. The process to check for employers is time consuming. So we do this for them through the ATO portal. And this is the process on which we ask the ATO if the employee that we are onboarding and paying has an existing superannuation account. If it does, the ATO responds with what is the account details, and we can then add them to the payroll, to the payroll. So the employees require also to complete the details depending on the information that they do have by completing this form with the superannuation details, and then at the end sign it to confirm that these details are true and correct. With this information allows us to start the process of onboarding the employee for payroll purposes. Then we need now a software that allows us to track the hours that the employee will be paid based on the classification and award. I will make another video for that so you can understand the second process of the payroll in our system. If you find this video useful, please like and subscribe. Bye for now.